Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It is Monday, September the 29th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Who are you?
I'm Spider Mabel.
Spider Mabel is a well-known name in Edmonton. She's the girl who, while battling cancer, was granted a wish to go on a crime-fighting adventure, saving the city and then Oilers captain Andrew Ference.
It was just so amazing and so comforting to know that there were so many people rooting for me and putting this together to make me feel better, and it was the best day of my life.
It's been 10 years since that day. The pint-sized superhero is now grown up.
I still hold a lot of the qualities I had back then, and I value that because it shows that, yeah, I've changed, I've matured, but I'm still me.
Spider Mabel's Wish Day, her journey to overcome cancer, and efforts to give back to the community are featured in a documentary called Spider Mabel, a real-life superhero story, released a couple of years ago.
I got to see myself how other people saw me, and I wasn't a sick kid. I wasn't, like, helpless. I was a ray of hope.
Remembering everything that happened, everything that she did that day and the years after, everything that went into that film, it's like, yeah, I want to see it again from the perspective of that being in the past.
People are getting a chance to relive that special day in our city's history on the big screen at Metro Cinema.
Edmonton showing up that day was what I was really proud of.
It's also a chance to meet the girl behind the mask.
Look out! Here comes the Spider Mabel.
I'm not so much like the superhero anymore. I'm more Mabel who wants to give back, but as me instead of Spider Mabel. Because Spider Mabel's really connected to the cancer side of my life.
The Spider Mabel documentary is being shown on Saturday to mark the anniversary and raise money for the Kids with Cancer Society. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Tucked inside this heritage spot in Griffintown is a pop-up collection created by artist and entrepreneur Tonya Dickenson.
This is an art center and a museum, so it combines both my antique and vintage feel, as well as all my pieces are wearable art. So they all have a message, they all have a value, they're unique, and they have a name, just like you.
Collections with names like Never a 51st State, featuring Canadiana.
So these are old stock pearls. These are actually also vintage. They're about 30 years old.
There's also Shattering the Glass Ceiling, celebrating equality and strength.
So this is called Diamond in the Rough.
Called circular fashion because the beads are mostly upcycled from items like old vinyl records or even animal horn.
Recycled glass from Ghana as well, and coconut shell. And again, everything is fully circular.
Each creation comes with a card explaining the environmental benefit of this kind of fashion.
Liters of water saved, as well as kilograms of carbon not emitted, comparing old versus new.
Montreal Fashion Week has a whole host of events going on with great local artists to discover.
I'm very proud to share that I'm a triple finalist this year. In Fashion Week, we will know at the gala on September 30th, so crossing my fingers.
And appreciation for the recognition she's been getting. Christine Long, CTV News.
Gas is included, insurance is included.
Jennifer Manning and Andre Delodier have lived in Ottawa for 10 years and have not owned a car.
Commune Auto is our car. I mean, obviously we bike and we use public transportation as well, but there are some things you just can't get to. Either way.
They have been Commune Auto members since 2006.
We drive to one place, leave a car, a few hours later, we would look on the app, see where another car was, wouldn't necessarily be the same car, didn't matter.
Celebrating 25 years in Ottawa, Commune Auto is expanding between Ottawa and Gatineau with flex service options to let users use a car for one-way trips.
There's a different requirement that they have.
Ottawa's mayor says it's a transportation option, even with the expanding LRT.
Sometimes they take the car. It depends on what's going on. People need to, go to the store sometimes and buy groceries and use a car for that purpose, or maybe they're going to IKEA to buy furniture, or they're dropping their kids off at hockey practice with a whole bunch of equipment. So they need options, and those options include cycling and public transit.
The pilot project will launch in mid-October with 30 vehicles. The service will be available at flex zones in Sandy Hill, Centertown, the Glebe, and Gatineau's Hull sector.
It's a service that is complicated to launch because there's some parking rules that have to be modified to define where the people will be allowed to pick a car and release a car. So that took several years.
The flex service will allow customers to reserve a vehicle almost on demand, pick up from any flex zone, and allow customers to drop off in any flex zone. A car rented in Ottawa can be released in Gatineau and vice versa.
There's availability.
A 3-hour trip for about 20 kilometers would cost about $20.
Every year we look at our finances and weigh the amount that we spend on any cars, so commune auto or car rental, and it's still less than if we owned a car with all the insurance and the tires and the
significantly less.
And the cost of the car itself.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
If you've hiked on a trail in the Canmore area, it's likely one Matt Hadley had a hand designing. He also loves to ride them. He and his wife each ranked among the top mountain bikers in the country. But in 2019, a devastating accident changed everything. While hiking with his wife in Utah, a basketball-sized boulder dislodged off a 200-meter high cliff, striking his right leg.
Within seconds, my life changed.
First faced with death, then uncertainty about what his future looked like as an amputee.
There were some dark, challenging moments there of just figuring out what I was capable of and how to do it. And I figure out ways to get back to sport and just regular life.
His remarkable recovery, resilience, and ability to reimagine trails is featured in the new documentary, Trailblazing, the Matt Hadley story. The now 42-year-old is an elite adaptive athlete and uses his own experiences to improve inclusivity on paths in the region as a trail technician.
There's been a number of projects I've been able to bring that accessibility lens. That's extremely empowering.
Hadley has also improved safety and lowered risk during the redesign of well-known trails like Haling and Yamneska. His lasting impact in the community is what compelled emerging Canmore filmmaker Kim Logan to share his story.
Films like Trailblazing help change the narrative from pity and amazement to respect and representation. And I hope that Trailblazing helps spark conversations about who belongs in the outdoors.
It's already well received, with one international award since its world debut in May and now set to premiere in Alberta. And while it has been difficult for Hadley to relive his worst moments, he's hopeful it will encourage others facing theirs.
In its own way, it probably helped with the healing. People can overcome most anything in their life.
Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Canmore.
In the heart of the city's East End, there is a place that for 50 years has done so much good within its walls.
This is a place where if you want to help anybody or get some help on any subject, this is your place to go.
Community Centre 55, which today marks half a century of bringing together neighbours in Beaches, East York.
It's not just historical in that we're celebrating 50 years. It's really an institution in this community. It is a second home for so many folks.
A second home that invites Eastenders out for a sunny September barbecue.
It's nice to come out here and get together, meet all your friends that you haven't seen in a long time, right?
Nice and lefty.
Providing programming for seniors, kids, and everyone in between.
They have lots of books. They have a library there for older people they can go in. They have bus trips.
Taking the lead on organizing the Beaches Santa Claus Parade, packing backpacks for students in need of support, and running food and toy drives to provide for more than 1,000 local families.
It teaches people about community service. It's always amazing to watch Beaches East York wrap their arms around Community Centre 55.
It's about your friends, it's about your neighbors.
Making sure that the members of this community have everything they need, which is sometimes as simple as a coffee or a conversation.
I've heard stories from seniors that they haven't talked to anybody all week, and just having that small interaction and connection is just so meaningful to them.
Joan Wedge has been coming here for years and shares a birthday with Community Centre 55. She turns 90 today.
It's good for the seniors to have a safe place to go when you're people with the same interests.
And often that shared interest is helping others. Volunteers are the backbone of the charity and fundraising initiatives that give back. Neighbors serving neighbors.
They're just great people. They help the community, and they always smiling, never say no to people.
And so as the center celebrates 50 years of success in connecting community, the hope is that this hub will continue to build up Beaches East York in the spirit of service for 50 more.
The Royal Canadian Navy warship HMCS Margaret Brooke is now docked just outside of Sault Ste. Marie, a first for these ships and a long time since a vessel of this caliber has visited the city.
To see HMCS Margaret Brooke here alongside by my community, my heart swells with pride because, you know, to have a ship here where I come from, it's not a normal thing.
Like the ship's honorary captain, Eason, Rear Admiral Jason Armstrong from the Soo is also on his home turf. While personal reasons may have prompted his visit, business, like addressing the Navy's 20% personnel shortfall, is also top of mind.
There is some targeted recruitment that we're trying to do. We're here just off Sault Ste. Marie to engage with the Soo College and the technical studies there, and to invite them to look at the Navy as an option.
It has given me so much opportunities to travel and to visit and do work that I would probably have never done before.
The ship resides near Gros Cap, with the St. Mary's too shallow for its tour. Those that signed up get a full tour of the warship inside and out.
We're looking at 10-story building, top, bottom, and top. It's a big step.
Pencil, pencil, pencil! It allows them to see what makes this vessel so unique.
The fact that this warship can do everything from science to anti-narcotics to Arctic sovereignty is just such an incredible feat. And the fact that there's 6 of this class of ship now within the Royal Canadian Navy, it's just amazing.
Tours of the HMCS Margaret Brooke are fully booked for the rest of the weekend. However, naval staff will be at the Roberta Bondar Park over that time. Locals can see the ship from Gros Cap, where a naval boat will be offering tours from the water. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Has written a lot of songs based on real-life experiences, like that time in 1967 when she met Gordon Lightfoot on a flight.
And when we were waiting for our luggage to come, he came over and he said, "Oh, I like your boots." And at least I think he said boots.
Now she's got a lot of material for a brand new song. This one all about how her beloved, one-of-a-kind banjo was stolen in Winnipeg.
I thought, you know, that's it. Like, for me, it's gone, and I'll never get another banjo like that again in my life.
This story, like so many songs, has a beginning. Wednesday evening, Debbie had come from a performance and later parked here on Princess Street to go for dinner, leaving her banjo in the trunk. When she returned, she immediately saw someone had broken into her car.
I thought, oh gosh, I don't dare look in the trunk. Then I opened up the trunk and I think my heart stopped.
The one-of-a-kind banjo she'd had for about 20 years was gone. She went to a police station to file a report and told 2 officers sitting in their cruiser about the theft. Initially, she didn't have much cause for hope.
He said, you know, I hate to tell you this, but you're probably not going to get your banjo back.
But the officers put a be on the lookout on their system, and within 5 minutes, just as she was getting back into her vehicle, the officer came over and had a surprise for her.
He said, "You're not going to believe this, but I have your banjo."
One of their units had heard from a local pawn shop owner about a suspicious attempted transaction. It was her banjo.
I think my heart was just almost stopping. I just couldn't believe they found it.
The next day, she had it back in her hands once again, and it wasn't damaged at all, meaning this song will have a happy ending. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Preparing for an important match, one that means far more than winning. Saturday night's big fight, dubbed This Bout is for Truth, is meant to honor residential school survivors ahead of the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Kyle Paposi is stepping into the ring to pay tribute to family impacted by the residential school system.
Makes me pretty proud because I get to represent my family.
After 7 years in the sport, Paposi says boxing has taught him both discipline and healing.
Just always trying your hardest, always believe in yourself, believe in what kind of achievements you can make no matter what's happened to you. Just keep training.
Paposi is one of several Indigenous boxers from across the prairies competing this weekend.
10 times faster.
Coach and event organizer Gary Kopis says the night also celebrates Indigenous culture with dancing and drumming.
A lot of celebration of the culture and boxing and bringing it all together to feature these athletes.
He says having elders in the crowd makes the night even more special.
It's really powerful to see them, smiling and have the opportunity for the future generations to be able to excel at life and just be part of everything that, these residential school survivors didn't get to be a part of.
Meanwhile, this boxer says he's ready to show off his skills and make his family proud.
Just showcasing my skills, everything I worked for, just working hard, just doing everything to get the best outcome.
The event kicks off Saturday night at 5 p.m. at Prairieland Park. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Center 200 and the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League.
When Dave LeBlanc says those words before tonight's Cape Breton Eagles home opener against the Moncton Wildcats, it'll be the last time he ever does.
It went like, as an actor said one time, like smoke through a keyhole. It's that fast.
LeBlanc has been the public address announcer at Sydney Center 200 since the building opened nearly 40 years ago. One of the obvious highlights of his long career was being behind the microphone when the Cape Breton Oilers won the American Hockey League's Calder Cup in 1993.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
After the Oilers left town, LeBlanc had a front row seat to the stars of tomorrow, like future Hall of Famer Marc-Andre Fleury with the Cape Breton Eagles.
Well, I enjoyed doing it. I mean, I had the best seat in the house.
Absolutely is an end of an era.
The manager of Center 200 and a longtime former broadcaster himself says it's going to be strange for fans in this building to hear any voice other than the one they've always known.
You're looking at 4 decades. His voice has been the one you heard announcing goals and all the other things that went with Center 200. And yeah, it's going to be a big change for people, I think.
Just to put into perspective the longevity of Dave's career, when he started calling games here for the Cape Breton Oilers, I was 6 years old. Now I'm 43 as he puts the mic down for the final time. So really, he has been behind the mic here at the Center for my entire life as a Cape Breton hockey fan.
It's like calling in sick and everybody knows about it. It's because if you do happen to miss a game, now you go to the next game and someone say, where were you yesterday or where were you the last game?
But he's grateful to get the chance tonight to say goodbye.
I think it's going to be in the back of my mind when I say, ladies and gentlemen, please be careful leaving the building in the parking lot. Drive safely on the way home. And good night. It'll be a funny feeling when I know it's being done for the last time. Please be careful leaving the building in the parking lot. Drive safely on the way home. And good night.
The end of an era and of a long career. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Big boy in the big city.
His name is Beef, and the towering Holstein is among skyscrapers for the first time. This pair from Vulcan came to Calgary to celebrate a mega moment, winning the Guinness World Record for tallest steer.
It's a pretty surreal feeling to know that my picture is in this book.
Jasmine Entz never intended to go for a record, but was a fan of the books growing up, and a few years ago wondered how her pet might stack up with the competition.
When the record was measured in 2023, he stood 6'5".
She works at a dairy and wanted a calf as a pet. When she picked him at birth, he was regular sized, but as a neutered male, he grew a lot in 8 years.
Right now, Beef is the tallest living steer on the planet, but he's still growing and he's on track to break another record.
There was one in Italy that was 6'8", and so that's the tallest ever recorded. Now he's 1.5 inches off of that. So
he lives on a hobby farm with a Holstein cow and miniature goats.
He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He gets along with everything.
She was once able to ride him, but he's grown too big for his saddle and too tall for his owner.
I'm not brave enough to get up that high. I don't don't like heights.
To feed the gentle giant, she has to fork out about $400 a month for a minivan-sized salad of alfalfa, but it's worth it.
His size coupled with his personality, and it's something to really admire.
She hopes she and Beef send a message about how much care goes into livestock, even the ones that aren't pets.
You know, the love that I have for him is the same love that goes into all of our milk cows on the dairy. It's a way of life, and it's a very important way of life.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Roy Townsend will never forget that day he surprised his daughter Lexi with a very real dog.
Couldn't believe it. How? What? This is, yeah, unbelievable.
Because before Max,
I'm 6 years older than you.
Lexi's big love,
You're still a baby.
was a little owl.
Well, I don't even know if she actually saw a real owl in her life, but she surrounded herself with owls.
Well, she placed owl pictures in her bedroom and hung her owl-shaped handprints in the living room. Lexi always brought this little stuffed owl to the hospital.
They put the needle in.
You see, Lexi was diagnosed with the ultra-rare Blau syndrome, which filled her body with debilitating and painful inflammation. Max was bought to be her therapy dog and ended up being a best friend.
I remember sometimes she'd be crying, and then she'd look over at Max, and then she'd just start laughing.
Max always found a way to make Lexi feel better.
He made my dreams come true.
Until that day he couldn't find her anywhere.
He always has been looking for her ever since.
5 years since Lexi's unexpected death, Max still runs to her room when he returns home.
He'll just sit there as if she's there, looking at something that we can't see.
Well, Troy and his family started turning their pain into purpose by launching the Cure Blau Syndrome Foundation. They also never stopped looking for Lexi.
And one day I said, I wish you would give us a sign that she's around.
And although they'd never seen an owl anywhere near their house before, Troy says this one stayed for more than an hour.
I've never seen anything like it, and I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it.
And ever since then,
Oh my God.
owls have visited their house on birthdays, anniversaries, and any day they needed it most.
When they're gone, maybe they're not really gone, maybe they're still there. We just need to look a little harder.
And maybe on those days we don't see signs, like this day Max couldn't find Lexi in her room, and Troy gave him her house coat where he stayed curled up for hours, we can find comfort in helping others.
Love wins, love comes through. She might be gone, but that love isn't.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Esquimalt.